Hey everyone, Brad Marino here. I thought I would do a video about my third LP, Basement Beat, my 2022 LP on Hey Pizza Records for vinyl and Rumbar Records for CD. Um, I had fun doing the On the Brink video the other day and thought maybe I'll do one for a couple more solo records if people like them, just kind of yakking about the tracks and the recording process. Frankly, I have nothing else better to do right now. Wife and kids are gone, I'm supposed to be working, so it's perfect time to talk to myself on camera. So this record, again, called Basement Beat, 2022, it came out on Hey Pizza and Rumbar. It was my third LP. This one kind of came about in a unique way. I had been working on some tracks that eventually became my fourth record, Grin and Bear It, when I just kind of wrote a few random kind of punk rock Ramones core style songs that I thought were cool. And back in 2020, I had done a little EP under the name Jimmy Rydell. And so there was a few songs kind of in that punk rock Ramones core vein that I did, and now I had enough really to kind of do an album. But I wasn't sure that I wanted to do that under my own name, just because it's a little different, you know. I'm kind of more known for rock and roll, power pop, with like a splash of punk. And this was more of like, you know, a two-fist punch of punk. So I wasn't sure how it would be received if it was released as like the third Brad Marino record. But ultimately I decided, you know, fuck it. It's, you know, it is me. I'm doing the majority of the instruments. I wrote the tunes. It's what I want to do right now. So it's kind of a concept record, this one. The idea behind it was to do like a record that sounds like a long lost Tommy Ramone era Ramones record. Kind of in response to, there's always a lot of like pop punk bands that get lumped into like Ramones core. You know, and it's like, they sound more like Screeching Weasel or something, not the Ramones. So I wanted to make a record that was like, you know, like the Riverdales behind me are kind of like Ramones core or Head or the Richies. So I don't know. Obviously, I love the Ramones, and they're always mentioned in all of my reviews. You know, you can't help but get kind of, you know, a mention of the Ramones when you're talking about Brad Marino. And, you know, they are probably my favorite band, obviously, and them and the Stones and the Beatles. And, you know, I have a lot of influences, but certainly the Ramones are my number one influence and kind of always will be. So that was the idea behind this record, is to kind of do like a fourth Tommy era Ramones record. There's the track list, 11 tracks on wax. As you can see, it's just myself and Bo. So this record, you know, I had all these demos and I basically sent them to Bo because I'm too lazy to play drums in the studio. I'll do it, but I don't really always love to do it. So I played drums on the Ramones and Stones EP that came out last year, and you know, I'll occasionally sit behind the drums, but you're all alone with just an engineer and headphones playing along to your own demos. It's not that exciting or fun. So this way I could send the tracks to Bo in Ohio, and he recorded all the drums at Mind Rocket Studio with Josh and Roman, just playing along to my demos with a click track. And then I recorded everything at home here in Rochester, New Hampshire. So that's basically the recording process. Me here at the studio at my house, and then Bo at a studio. I think Mind Rocket's actually in Pennsylvania, but I digress. And then Josh Roman did mix it, and Justin Perkins at Mystery Room Mastering did the mastering. So it's a cool record. It's grown on me. I was, like I said, not embarrassed of it, but I was like, what's the reaction going to be, especially with some of the like the power pop people and people that kind of know what to expect from me, which is kind of a mix of you know, a little bit of Ramones influence, but more like rock and roll power pop type stuff. You know, are they going to like this or hate it? But I think part of going solo is that you can do what you want when you want. You can record a whole album. I've done albums completely by myself, like Extra Credit. I've done records with a bunch of different guys playing a bunch of different instruments. That's kind of the freedom of being a solo singer or solo artist, is to kind of use who you want when you want and kind of make the music you want to make. So in the end, I'm glad I just did it as Brad Marino. I was thinking about maybe doing it as Jimmy Rydell, my old, you know, name from my days playing drums in the Rydells. But in the end, you know, it's the third Brad Marino record. I can't believe that it's a little over 2 years old now. It is out of print on vinyl, sadly. I think there was 200 copies or maybe 200 or 300 copies pressed, and they're all gone. So I'm hoping maybe I can track down Dummy Room Nate and see if he wants to do a repress sometime. But you can still get CDs from Rumbar and, you know, Worldwide, Sugar and Spice, or Sonic Rendezvous. But you'll have to sell for CD or digital for now. So, like I said, this record, talk about the songs on it, and, you know, I kind of already touched on the recording process. But there's a couple neat little stories and background about this record, and yeah, let's start. The first song is called Freak Show. This song dates back to about 2009. Like I said, I played in a band called the Rydell's, and Denny Rydell was the singer, the main guy in the Rydell's, and his wife, Jessie, had written some lyrics or some poems or words or whatever, and one of them was Freak Show. So this song, the lyrics are 100% Jessie, Jessie Rydell, Jessie Holland, and then I wrote all the music. So, and we wrote this back in like 2009, 10. It was going to be a Rydell song, and then the Rydells just kind of disbanded and never went in the studio again. So it's been kicking around until I recorded it in 2021, you know, for like 12 or 13 years. So cool to get this one out. It is a really cool like album opener, really fast kind of punk rock number. Yeah, so me and Jessie wrote this one. A couple of these songs on here are actually some of the oldest songs that I've written, like the first songs, I should say, that I ever tried to write. The next track, Communist Creep, it's not really political or anything. It's just, you know, the Ramones have a bunch of songs that mention commies and don't talk to commies, so Communist Creep was a natural Ramones sounding song to do, so I like that one a lot. And also the Rydells had KGB's Took My Girl From Me, was track 2 on the Go Mental record, so I kind of thought the symbolism there was kind of neat. The next track is called Rubber Room. I really like this one. This was one that was on that EP that I did in 2020. People probably don't even remember it. It was under the name Jimmy Rydell, my old misnomer from the Rydell's days. And so those songs, I just, once in a while, they would pop up and I would say, oh, that's kind of a cool song. Like that would be a really fun song that people would probably really like if it was recorded properly and released, you know, officially. So that's kind of what drew me into, you know, re-recording it for this, and some of the other songs on here were on that EP as well. This one I play a lot live too. So Brain Gone Dead. So this is one that I wrote with Michael Chaney, my collaborator in the New Trocaderos, and he's written songs or co-written songs with me for a long time, with my solo records and even back in the Connection and New Trox days. So this one, I don't know, Chaney wrote all the words years ago, and I wrote the music years ago. Just lyrically, it's total Ramones, so that's what I did. And then the New Trocaderos, which was a group basically put together to record Michael Chaney's songs, because he could write songs, but he couldn't really play instruments. So he got me, Jeff Palmer, Kurt Baker to record his tracks. And so this was one of the first tracks we did back in like 2013. So there is a version out there, a New Trocaderos version, which kind of has like keyboards with Chris Rogers. It's kind of like, reminds me of Take It As It Comes, the Doors cover the Ramones did, because it's like kind of Ramonesy, and then you all of a sudden have this organ keyboard solo in it. But this one is straight Ramones, like straight off the self-titled Ramones record is what I was going for, baby. So yeah, it's another co-write, me and Mike Chaney. The next song is called Sick, 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 Sick. Sick times 4. So this one is one of the new songs I wrote that kind of got me excited about maybe doing a whole album in the style. You know, super choppy guitars, fast, up-tempo song. Fun fact, all the lyrics are nipped from the Rolling Stones. So yeah, they're all Rolling Stones, either lyrics or little snippets, for the most part, probably 90% of the lyrics. So like Sister Morphine's in there, you know, what else? Got the Blues, you know what I mean? What's the Deal? It's Really Obscene. Try a Little Harder, I think is on Metamorphosis. There's just all kinds of, I just kind of took like little song titles or 2 or 3 lyrics from a Rolling Stone song, and it just kind of fit. So, and then, you know, Sick, 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 Sick is super like, kind of like Ramones, you know. That's another one that we still play live quite a bit. Spy for the BBI. BBI, yes. I never know if it's BBI or BPI, actually. But so this song goes back to like 2004. I was like 17 or 18, and you know, I started playing in bands when I was 15, and we would try to write songs, we would learn covers, we would just jam in basements and play little gigs at VFW halls or whatever. And I remember writing a song called Spy for the BBI, and this was it back in like 04. Like, it's really old. And I was like 17, I think, at the time. And it's just, we probably made a demo of it somewhere on like a Tascam, but it's never really officially been recorded as far as I recall. And of course, Spy for the BBI is a line from Ramona on Rocket to Russia. And I don't know what the BBI is. Like, I have no idea. I don't know if Elon Musk runs it or like what the deal is with that. The BBI, still not sure. I don't know if the Ramones ever said, but you know, again, when you're making a Ramones core record, you're gonna nick a few things from them. So Spy for the BBI, this is sort of like a Rocket to Russia-esque song, but it's funny that thinking back, I realized I probably wrote that like when I was like 17. So kind of crazy. One of the oldest songs or first songs I ever wrote. The next song, That Girl, the original idea for That Girl, it was going to be more like a Real Kids type of song. And it was going to be probably on Grin and Bear It. And, you know, the original demo was like much cleaner guitars, actually like a little faster. It was going to be like kind of like a, you know, a Bad to Worse, if you know that Real Kids song. I was kind of thinking more John Felice than Dee Dee Ramone, but it definitely fits this record. And, you know, it has like a keyboard or organ solo that I did, and kind of like the Ramones had that, you know, Let's Dance has, I think Tommy played the organ. So this is another one that we play a lot live. So it's interesting looking back, like how many songs we still have in the set list. I mean, they only take 5 minutes to play 3 or 4 of them. But yeah, you know, we got to definitely talk to Hey Pizza Nate and see if we can get a repress of this one. The next track, Talk, 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 Talk. So it's the second track that has, you know, 4 words in it. You have sick, 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 and then talk, 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 talk. I don't know why I did that or where it came from or why, but again, you know, I wasn't thinking too hard about the lyrics for this album, if I'm being honest, but this one's straight up, you know, like a Storm the Streets style tune. Not really much to say about that one, if I'm being honest. Nancy is Narcoleptic. You know, this one, people like really liked this song. It was so weird, like looking at Spotify and seeing which songs, you know, get the most plays or playlist ads. And it's like, people really dug this one. And again, this is one of the first songs I ever wrote when I was like 17, you know, practicing with, you know, my band. I think it was either my high school band, No Remorse, or, you know, a band I did called Way to Go for a few years in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. Nancy is Narcoleptic, a total just joke of a song, really, but like definitely has the feel that fits perfect on this record. Come Back for More is another song that was written for this record, one of the new songs that I wrote when I decided I wanted to kind of just write a couple more records and have an album. So Come Back for More, I don't know what it's about. Again, it's sort of about, you know, I don't know, bondage maybe or something. I don't know. It's, you know, it's totally silly. But you know, some people really like to read into lyrics. I don't know. It's not autobiographical or anything. It's you know, just a silly Ramones core style song. And the last song, again, this song Dream Last Night is old. I wrote it in like 2010 in my little apartment in Portsmouth by myself. Had a dream last night that I was dead. And it's just, I don't know where it came from. I mean, it's super basic. It's not one of my favorite songs, even on this record. But again, people love this song. I don't know why. I'm glad people like what they like. This one we kind of have been opening the Brad Marino Band set with, just to get people into the room to listen. And I don't know, but like when you look at, again, it's not everything, but the playlists and the plays on Spotify, it's just like, this song gets played a lot, and I don't know, people seem to dig it, so whatever. It was just kind of a throwaway song. And that's it. That's Basement Beat in its entirety. 11 songs. It was on Hey Pizza record. It's now sadly out of print. But you can still get CD from Lou at Rumbar Records. And there are a couple outtakes from this on my new album, On the Brink. It's a compilation record on Rumbar, so check that out. The Wax, I don't know, did I show this earlier? My dog's been distracting me, so I forget. But, you know, check out Discogs or eBay or something. I don't have any. People hit me up once in a while for this or Subterranean Jungle, and I do not have any. This is the one copy I own that I have left because so many people asked, and I think I had 3 or 4 copies, and now I just have one. So you can listen to it everywhere, of course, and if you want a CD, Rumbar Records. Yeah, thanks for watching.